Kathmandu was flooded like never before in 2024.
Shut down for 3 days on Sunday after landslides and floods triggered by heavy rain across the country reportedly killed at least 151 people, while 56 remain missing. Now, up to 322.2 millimeters of rain fell beginning early on Friday, raising the nation's main Bagmati River 2.2 meters above its danger mark.
The unprecedented flooding that caused the city to go years back in its recent developments was long overdue. Is this now over, or is it coming again? If you look at the weather pattern over 2-3 years, one will see this sudden bursts of rain and long period of dry weather repeat itself. It's been out of normal the way the climatic conditions are reshaping. We hear warnings of rise in temperatures in the weather report or of bursts of rain. The volume of rain that falls within short span of time and days of dry weather during the time when it should have been raining on and off, as is the case in this climatic zone, is somewhat strange. Flooding in 2023 caught most people by surprise. Last year it took a different form. It was worse than previous years or something we had not seen in decades. What do the concerned authorities tell us about this? Is there a global change in weather pattern which has not been recorded in the past, or is this a normal phenomenon? A climate cycle which is expected in due course? Before we go into what is happening and whether the country is bracing for another huge flood, let's look at Kathmandu and how vulnerable it is to floods. Kathmandu is basically a landform enclosed from all sides by hills, and the terrain is a flat floodplain, barring few undulating places within the valley. This valley has 15 rivers, which include tributaries and sub-tributaries of the Bagmati River that flows right through the heart of the city. Bagmati River is the heart and souls of the Kathmandu Valley civilization. The river is fed from all sides by smaller rivers, the biggest one among them being Bishnumati. Others are Hanumante, Manohara, Dobikola, Balkukola, and Nakukola. The others are smaller tributaries and sub-tributaries, which join together along the way within the valley and flow out from the south end of the valley called Chobar, a narrow gorge that serves as the outlet for all the water flowing out of the Kathmandu Valley. These rivers have always had open space to flow and spread as and when the volume of water increased in monsoon. On both sides of the river Bagmati, open flat land helped the rivers to spread its wings whenever the volume of water rose. And that has been the case through years, as can be seen if one studies the geography and the landscape of this valley. In fact, the valley was shaped by these rivers. The pockets of land which people use for agriculture was the deposit of silt and fertile soil brought down by the river. This valley is meant for habitation, at the same time it is not. If we look at its formation and what caused it to exist, it appears to be basically a floodplain, a reservoir where excess water is stored before being flushed out. It is an open cesspool for all the water that comes down from the surrounding hills and slopes before flowing out gradually into the plains in the south. But as more and more people migrated by virtue of it being an open, accessible space with plenty of water for agriculture and habitation, it eventually turned into the capital city of the country. The city grew. Construction moved closer and closer to the rivers, leaving little leeway for the rivers as they flow downward to the southern end. Some rivers have been constricted to such an extent that the only way they can expand is upward rather than sideways, with concrete barricade on both sides. By the way, this speaks volumes about the engineers and the planners of the city in the past. Their foresight and geographical understanding is exceptionally limited. The capacity of the valley in terms of how many people can be accommodated here is limited by geographical construct of the land, and that is being tested to the extreme. The city has grown enormously over the years, and the land is becoming scarce for more construction. Some sub-tributaries have been even channeled through huge concrete drainage pipes and buried so construction can be done over it. This has made some sub-tributaries disappear from sight completely. A few of these were recently dug out by initiative from the present mayor of Kathmandu. Now things are the way it is. We know that rainfall is totally out of human control and that rivers will expand no matter what when the rain comes, and that the rivers will have to flow downward by laws of nature, and by whatever means the rivers will overflow and occupy space it needs. That means flooding is undoubtedly certain. So what is immediately done as we are a month or two away from monsoon rains? Can the rivers be dug few meters deeper so the volume of water it holds can be increased? Do we have enough time for that? Is there any plan on widening the Chobar Gorge at the southern end where the river flows out of the valley? If that is to be done, has there been any study on the impact of the volume of water that flows out from the gorge on areas below the southern point? Are there plans for setting up flood drains or pipelines, channels that quickly take overflowing river water through shortcuts to the outlet and out of the valley? Are there emergency equipment set up in case there is damage to lives and property? What action is being taken to mitigate or solve this problem? There are many places around the world where such projects are underway that can alleviate flooding problem. Kathmandu is in a unique setting and needs its own solution. At the moment, the best they can do is remove people from places that are prone to floods. Moving settlements to higher grounds is imperative. Next, a clear study on the maximum increase in the volume of water at a given highest level of rainfall must be calculated, and the subsequent flooding of areas, and to what extent must be defined to determine the damage it can cause. After that, what can be done to divert the floodwater quickly and efficiently out of the flood areas must be examined. Canals, flood drains to channel the water quickly may need to be built within the resources the departments have. Once immediate action plans are in place, long-term plans should be worked on so this valley can be a habitable zone for people for a long time to come. Hopefully this is being thought through and actions are being taken to help the netizens of this beautiful historic city.